Welcome back. My next guest is Randy Niffenegger, a senior physics major from Waldo, Wisconsin, who's about to travel for the solar eclipse. Randy, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
First off, how did you come to be interested in the solar eclipse, and where are you traveling?
Well, I became interested in the solar eclipse about 2.5 years ago when I first found out that we were going to have a solar eclipse, especially one this close to Mississippi. And I decided I was going to travel up to the University of Missouri because I have a cousin that goes there, so it's just a nice, nice place to travel to. But they're right on the path of totality, and a lot of people are traveling, so it's hard to find places to stay. So if you're just seeing this now, it's a little too late to make your plans. But yeah, so I'm going to Missouri, right on the path of totality there.
Okay. And if you will, scientifically speaking, what is actually happening with the solar eclipse, and maybe what makes it particularly noteworthy, I guess?
Yeah, so a solar eclipse happens every 18 months actually. And basically what's happening is the moon passes in front of the sun, and so it makes a very large shadow over the earth. It's basically acting as a very large umbrella. This one's very special though because it's starting, the path of totality is starting all the way up in Oregon near Portland, and it's going across the entire nation and exiting in South Carolina by Charleston. And so the entire lower 48 states will have at least 50% eclipse. So it's very spectacular to have a place so heavily populated and well educated like America to have this great experience happen. It's a great educational experience as well. Yeah.
Okay. And observers are being told not to look directly at it. That's something I think most people have heard, but I think less understood is maybe why. So why is that dangerous, and what is it, or at least dangerous without, I guess, special glasses and filters? What's going on there?
Precisely, yeah. So you should only look at it when an astronomer says it's safe to look at it. So that's with glasses or a solar filter, or there's several different ways that you can look up alternative ways online. But the reason being is because you wouldn't look directly at the sun during normal circumstances, and you shouldn't look at it now because although here in Starkville, Mississippi, we'll have 89% of the sun covered, so that's still 11% of the sun showing. And it's not the sheer amount of light, but it's the intensity of the light that's really damaging to your eyes. So even for a moment it may not be permanently damaging, but you feel it. You see the spots and it hurts your eyes. And so having that damage on your eyes can be very detrimental. It can cause you to go blind, or you'll see little crescents for the rest of your life in your retina. It's really it's shocking. People go to the eye doctor after major eclipses, and they'll see in your eye actually the image of the crescent of the eclipse on the back of their eye. It's rather frightening actually. But wow. Under safe, normal, astronomically sound circumstances, it is okay to look at the sun with the proper tools.
And around Starkville, should the weather not wholly cooperate on Monday, what can people expect? For example, is cloud cover going to be a deal breaker, I guess? So
cloud cover, although it'll be a little disappointing, we won't actually be able to see the sun if it is cloudy or rainy, it'll still get very dark. We're only seeing about 10% of the sun, so it'll get very dark. The birds will start to roost and they'll chirp like crazy. Blossoms will close, so that it'll feel like nighttime, and temperatures will drop. So even if it is cloudy, it'll start to feel like nighttime. It'll start to feel like dark twilight, and so that'll still be a great experience in itself. But hopefully it's a nice clear day, and we'll get that incredible solar eclipse.
And where you're going, you're counting on just basically total darkness.
Total darkness. It'll actually be, I know for a fact it'll be dark enough there to see this, and it should be dark enough here. You'll actually be able to look up into the sky as long as you block out with your hand or some eclipse glasses the sun. You should be able to see stars and even some planets like Venus in the night sky. And
so that's where the phrase "path of totality" comes from, right? Truly. That's the path where it's actually going to be actually going to be dark the whole way.
Yeah. Here in Starkville, we hopefully should be able to see some brighter stars and maybe the planet Venus as well.
And is this your first eclipse experience?
Yes, this is my first eclipse experience. That's why I'm traveling, to Missouri and not staying here, just because I needed that extra 11%. And also, a lot of people, they're bringing their camera equipment with special filters and things like that. But the astronomer in me would be very disappointed if I spent the entire time messing with my camera equipment. So my advice to anyone that this is their first eclipse is just to enjoy it. There'll be another one in 2024 that's intersecting the nation in a different direction, a little harder to get to. But if you want to photograph that one, enjoy this one. Yeah.
And you mentioned being an astronomer. Could you, in closing, sort of briefly describe your role within the department as an astronomer?
Yeah, so I'm the president of the astronomy club, and I'm the student director for the observatory. So I do I run public nights out at the observatory about once a month, weather permitting. And we advertise that all through social media. It's just, MS State Astronomy and things like that. And so I help run that. I manage our telescopes. I fix things. I put things together. And I'm the voice. I'm doing this exactly. I like to educate and talk to the crowds, the audience, and educate the community, because they're very interested. Astronomy is something that everyone can relate to as long as you just look up. And so it's a great learning experience for everyone, and it's an enjoyable learning experience.
Randy, it's been a real pleasure speaking with you. I thank you for joining us, and safe travels next week. That's all we have time for today. Remember, you can follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at MSU Engineering. Thank you for joining us.